As of yesterday, all of the invitees to the Coinbox IRL have been decided, and I wanted to go over a list of who I do want to play, or not even want to play, but how I think I will do versus the opponents. I obviously don't know my bracket, I don't know my pool, I don't know anything, but I wanted to go over all of the invited players and go over how well I think I'm going to do versus them, or how confident I am versus them as well. So here we have all of the people that are qualified for Coinbox IRL, minus myself, because I can't fight myself. Well, I can every day, but you know, I can't fight myself in the tournament. So we have Wrath, Crepe, who just qualified from the Coinbox IRL of EU, or the Coinbox match of, you know what I mean, the qualifier, like I qualified in. Riddles, Sonics, Onan, Bruno, ShinyMark, TM7 Zap, Spargo, Shuon, and Lima. I didn't make Lima smaller, that was my bad. And these are all the opponents. And the thing is, I feel fairly confident about a lot of them. And I have my 5 tiers here, which are confident and, in my opinion, favored. I'm not going to say that I'm a higher ranked player than I think I think everyone above here is higher ranked than me because I haven't been going to a lot. But in my opinion, I would say that I am favored, confident even enough so we can go back and forth. You know, I don't think it would be crazy for either of us to win. Confident, not favored, being I can win, but the odds are definitely stacked against me, but I'm confident in the matchup and I like fighting that person. Unsure, which is like I just don't have a lot of experience and I'm just not 100% sure on how things will go. And then Help Me ShinyMark, which is I really need to VOD review because I am not confident versus this player. So let's get started with a random one. Hey chat, who do you want me to go over? I guess first off, let's just go with the #1 player in the world, Spargo. So Spargo, I'm confident versus Spargo. I feel like I can definitely beat Spargo. I can get a couple edge guards. I can do some good stuff. However, it's Spargo. He has a really good record versus ShinyMark. He has a really good record versus me. He just kind of wins all the time. So it will be very, very hard to beat Spargo, in my opinion. Is it possible? Absolutely. I would say I have like a 35 to 40% chance to beat Spargo, but that's definitely not favored. So even though I like fighting Cloud, I think it would be a good set if I had to play him, but I'm definitely not expecting to win going in. Like I'm not like, oh, I got this, I just need to execute. It's just like, I got this, I really got to outplay him, which is a bit of a different story. Next up, let's go with one of the Steve players. We can go with Onan. Onan, I'm confident versus. I have played Onan a good bit, and I really feel like I've been getting better at the Steve matchup. I say every time before I fight and lose to a Steve, but I feel like I've been getting pretty good versus the character. I feel like I've unlocked my ability to camp, and that is very, very important versus Steve. But at the same time, Onan's really good, obviously, right? They are the second best Steve in the world for a reason. They're incredible, and fighting them's a lot of fun. Fighting them has always been fun. Every time I've played them on like online sessions or, you know, played friendlies offline, it's always been very fun and very entertaining. Obviously, it can swing both ways because I can get some edge guards, and then sometimes TNT is just really stupid, but I really feel like, especially with VOD review, because me and ShinyMark are going to be reviewing a lot, I should be fine versus Onan. I might lose, for sure. Like, I definitely don't think I'm favored, but I definitely think I have all of the tools to win. Next up is one of the players that I'm the least knowing about, and so for that I'm going to put him in unsure. It is Crepe. I've never played him in friendlies. I have honestly played not very many of the Europeans that are like new top players. I haven't played Bloom. I played Lugi for the first time at Supernova, so I really just don't know. I see how Crepe plays, and I feel like it is something I can do very well versus, but at the same time, he's really good, right? He's the #1 ranked player in Europe the last season. He's been doing just still really well. His Steve is really good. He also has a bunch of secondaries, most notably Wario and Robin, even though I feel confident against those characters, and I still feel confident versus Steve. I just don't know how it's going to go, because every Steve plays very different. You have to be prepared for everything. Thankfully, there will be VODs I can watch of Crepe versus Niraz and versus Enki. I don't know if both of those VODs exist. I'm assuming one of them does, so we'll be able to watch like actual Pikachu stuff of how Crepe deals with him, so I should be prepared, but right now, I'm just unsure. Next up, let's talk about Bruno. I actually didn't realize Bruno was invited until after I qualified, but Bruno, in my opinion, is a very good player, right? He clearly just won the event in the Northeast. His Kazuya is really good, his K-Rool is versus good, but both of those characters, Pikachu does very well versus, and even though Bruno is from, I think he's from Massachusetts? I'm gonna check really quick. So even though Bruno is from Massachusetts and therefore has probably some Pikachu experience from DM and G Extreme, I just feel like if you don't have the offline ESAM or ShinyMark experience, it is rough when you fight against Pikachu, and his characters don't do well versus Pikachu. I think K. Rool is borderline +3. I think Kazuya Pikachu wins. Very hard to combo, very awkward. So I'm very confident if I were to have to fight Bruno. Again, can he win? For sure. I just think I'm favored. I don't think I'm not going to win, or I don't think I'm like not going to lose ever. I don't think it's impossible to lose. I just think that if I were to like play this set 100 times, I would win more than 55 of them or something like that. Next up, let's talk about my Pikachu brother, and that is going to be ShinyMark. ShinyMark, he's in his own tier. It's not exactly help me, ShinyMark, because I do know what I'm doing, but I'm not exactly confident versus him, but I just think I'm unfavored versus him. So I think if there's another tier, I'm gonna put him down here. So ShinyMark, I think he plays Pikachu in a way that is better for the Ditto. He is obviously the higher ranked Pikachu at the moment, and it is very hard to catch ShinyMark off guard. He's a very studied player, and we've played friendlies before. Like, we played online, and granted, he's like way better online than I am in general, but it was bad. It was like 20-2 or something, 20-3. Like, he hella beat me. So I'm not looking forward to having to fight ShinyMark if I have to. I think I can win. I just think it will be very difficult because the matchup is exactly even. We have the same tools, and he's just been playing overall so well recently, and it is really hard. And the thing is, I can't ask him for help. I feel like every single one of these players, even the players I'm not going to like fighting, we can VOD review. There's VODs of me playing people. There's VODs of him playing people. We can do the things we need to do. But for himself, there's nothing. I can't ask him for help. It's just like, well, who's playing better today? Like, I went brawler against him at Santa Paws. It was 3-1. I actually won game 1 and then like could have won game 2 when I dropped stuff. But I think that as he has gotten more brawler experience, the less likely it is that I can win. Maybe I'll counterpick stages or something. But it's really, really hard to beat him. It's really hard to stay more solid than him. And I feel like even though I understand all of the mix-ups he wants to go for, I still don't know how to like ledge trap him with Pika. Like, it's really awkward and it's really difficult. He's just really, really good. And again, the thing is, I cannot prep for him outside of my own prep for him. And we've never played the Pikachu Ditto offline. And also, just in general, I don't like the Pika Ditto, so I don't look forward to this. Next up is someone that actually beat me in an offline tournament this year. Actually, the only person to beat me in an offline tournament this year, because I don't really go to that much, and that person is Shuon. I feel like me versus Shuon went better than I expected when we played at Cirque, but I still lost 3-1, and some of those games were quite bad. So this is definitely going to have to be a set that I really study, and I really, like, you know, pin down the Olimar matchup. I've never been particularly good at the Olimar matchup. He's not going to go Aegis versus me, and even though I feel like I can win for sure, it's just gonna be, it's the hardest. I think this is my hardest opponent of all the opponents because I like the matchups of literally every other person here, and Shuon has proven that he can beat me, proven that he knows what to do against Pika, and it's just very, very difficult to beat him. Shuon's been playing also crazy well this year, especially the last like 3 months. It's been very, very good. So I might just go Cloud or something if things start going bad. I don't know, because that matchup seems simple. But yeah, Shuon has just been so good, and this is the one that I personally want to VOD review the most, just because I have a literal set of me playing him, and the matchup's really intricate and difficult. I don't know how you beat Shuon if you don't play a +4 matchup on Olimar. He's so good. He's so good. When did I start playing Cloud? I don't play Cloud. I don't play Cloud. That's the joke. I don't play Cloud, and I still think that might be the wave, is just like play Cloud for a week and then be fine. Did I ever play Shuon in Smash 4? I don't know. American Sign Language? Oh, okay. So I thought you were like saying something relevant to the discussion. That's fine that you didn't. No, I don't know sign language, but I was interested in learning it in college, and then there wasn't a course. Like, I tried getting a like leisure skills course in it, and I could never get in. Next up, we have Sonics. Now, Sonics is obviously a top 4 player in the world, but I really think that I have a good shot at doing well versus him. Pika versus Sonic is Pika favor for sure. It is a set that I have a billion views, or like I have a billion videos to watch of me fighting Sonics and me fighting Wrath and ShinyMark fighting Wrath and ShinyMark fighting Sonics, and you know, there's just so much VOD to watch that I feel like it is going to be a good time. Plus, I feel like I've been getting better at that matchup, and my frustrations recently have mostly been due to Wi-Fi. Of course, is Sonic's amazing? Yeah. Can he win and beat my ass? Yeah, absolutely. But I do think that me versus him, I don't think he would go into it particularly confident that he's like just gonna win. So for that reason, I'm confident, but it's even enough. It's definitely not favored. Like, it is definitely not favored in my opinion, because I've beat Sonics before online and offline. ShinyMark has beat Sonics before online and offline. The matchup's really hard. This is going to be something that, like, me, ShinyMark, Sonics, and Wrath are going to be studying the matchup so hard on both sides, which is going to be really, really interesting. Speaking of Wrath, let's just get him out of the way. Confident, and in my opinion, I am favored versus Wrath. I do think Sonics is a bit better on hit, and for that reason, I do think Wrath is a little bit easier. Have I lost to Wrath in the past, both online and offline? Yeah, absolutely. But again, from playing him recently online, I feel like most of my issues have been, like, specifically online stuff, and I feel like the neutral I kind of understand, and there's a lot of things I really understand, especially like when he starts using homing attack, I'll be able to react to it better offline, and just a lot of little things will be better offline. Of course, does he get advantages from on or from offline? Yeah, he'll be able to like react to thunder jolts better and react to positions better and two-frame me a little bit more consistently, but I'm just going to go under the stage and not let him go to PS2, so that helps. Because Sonics is better on hit, I do think that I will do better versus Wrath than vice versa, and sometimes Sonics just destroys me. I don't really feel like I ever get destroyed by Wrath. Like, I might lose close games, which I also would do versus Sonics, but Sonics just has some games where he's like, I'm right every single time, you just lose 2 stock, and it's like, okay, sorry. And I don't feel like Wrath really does that. How do you really combo Pika as Sonic? You get your 50, and the thing is, like, Sonic's advantage state is better. And yeah, can I just go off stage? Yes, but it is risky too, because then you typically have to do that by losing your double jump, and then it's hard to go under the stage as much when you don't have your double jump. So it's just really it's really weird. Next up, we can go to Lima. Honestly, he's kind of down here, not so much because I think he will just instantly beat me, but because in my opinion, recently my Brawler's been doing better, but I'm not going to be focusing on Brawler that much, so I need to relearn this matchup as Pikachu. And I feel like I've definitely been out of the loop when it comes to Bayo counterplay and how consistent, how to consistently beat that type of stuff. And Lima recently has been doing so well. He's been playing so well, and he's so aware of Pikachu, mostly because of him fighting ShinyMark online a lot. And so it is really, really difficult. The last time I played him in friendlies, which was about a year ago at Genesis, which was not quite a year ago, but he did like very well versus my Pika. I think it was like he won like 4-2 or something when we played friendlies, and then when I went Brawler, I won more than vice versa. But I don't know how much Brawler I want to play here, because the only 2 people that I would maybe potentially play Brawler versus are these 2, because like Brawler does well versus Olimar, even though Shuon 3-stocked it at Cirque, but that's because I played bad, and then Lima. And so I don't know if, it's worth it to keep my Brawler as warm for these 2 players as opposed to these, other 10 plus whoever qualifies from the LCQ. So that is why help me ShinyMark, because I really need to relearn it as Pikachu. And so I really, really need help for that. And again, if it's bad enough, I might just go Brawler anyway and then just hope it's playing well. But, I would like to go Pikachu for this whole tournament. Does my Bayo Slayer knowledge transfer to Smash Ultimate? I just don't have that much experience in this game as much. Like, the reason I was a Bayo Slayer in Smash 4 was because my SDI was insane, but you can't SDI like that in this game. And, combo routes and stuff have changed, especially recently. The combo routes that Bayos have, even in this game, have been different. Next up, we have TM7 Zap. I do think I'm favored versus Zap. We did play at Coinbox like 2 months ago or so, and he did beat me, but I really feel like Bowser Jr. gets significantly easier offline because you are able to like react to his up B better and like advantage state him a little bit easier and react to the fact that like Zap mashes a lot in disadvantage, which is, I'm not like saying that's bad. I really don't understand why there's like so much vitriol and like anger towards Zap recently. He's been succeeding very well, and he's been beating people that have Bowser Jr. experience, and he's been doing well overall. I don't quite understand why everyone's like, he's bad. I know it's because he got into like an invitational. I forget which one, the Luminosity Invitational ? But like he took Tweak to game 5, and he's like took Sonics to game 5. Like, he's a very good player. But I do think like Pikachu does well versus Bowser Jr., and even though he has more experience in the matchup than when I beat him at CEO 2020, whatever year that was, I guess that was last year, I do feel like I'm still favored versus him. The matchup can be simple, and if I'm especially playing offline and I can react to a bunch of those weird little niche situations, I should be fine. And lastly, we are going for Riddles. I love fighting Riddles. He is one of my favorite players to fight in the entire world. He is so fun. He's incredible. I love fighting him. I actually really like fighting against Terry and Kazuya in general. So I like I really like fighting him, and I do think it's very even. I think he would agree that like we are very even. We go back and forth when we play in friendlies and in tournament, and it's been game 5. It's been super close. Our friendly sessions are like, it's like, oh, we're gonna do a first to 5, time to go to game 9, last hit. That type of stuff always happens. So I do not know who would win, but I'm very confident going into that set. I don't feel worried. I'm not like, I don't know what to do about the matchup, blah blah blah. I don't know. Like I will have a very solid game plan, and I will be very good, especially because I've been camping more recently. So maybe the lameness will come out, because I think lame Pika just like starts shutting down FGC characters more and more. He'll probably go Terry, but at the same time, Terry's a little bit hard to play lame versus because he has really good burst options. So we'll have to see. And I'm very much so looking forward to this tournament. You know, I find that it will be very fun to play all these players. It will be very fun to get a bunch of friendlies in, because a lot of times at tournaments you want to like conserve your stamina, but because I know how the pools work, I'll be able to like play for a little bit, like, you know, warm up, play my pool, have a bunch of hours for friendlies, and then the next day finish the tournament. So I very much look forward to it. Again, I do think that there are 3 players that I'm definitely not favored versus, like absolutely, like I have less chance of beating them than vice versa. Or, sorry, 4, which is ShinyMark, Shuon, Lima, and Spargo. So 4 out of a potential 15 isn't the best odds, especially considering one of them is the best player in the world and the other one plays my character. But can I beat these players, even the ones that I don't really like fighting? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm very much so looking forward to it. I could get 13th, I could get like 2nd or 1st. I could legitimately win, especially with how bracket goes, right? Like if Sonics decides to beat Spargo and like, you know, I get like 2nd in my pool, so I'm in winners, because like I lose to, you know, Riddles, and then I beat like Zap and Lima or something, and then I get put into winners, and then I have to fight like Bruno, because Bruno upset Crepe and Spargo somehow. I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. So it's like I beat Bruno in quarters, and then I like beat Riddles, and then I beat like Sonics in winners finals, or Wrath in winners finals. So, like, it's definitely possible that I can just win this tournament. It is unlikely, but I definitely think that I can do it. I'm very confident. I'm going to put my all in, and if I get 13th, you can come back to this video and be like, hey ESAM, you were stupid, shut up, you lost to Zap and Bruno. What are you talking about? But yeah, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. As always, social media and partner stuff is down below. Let me know what you think about my chances against these people, because this is what I think. And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Peace.